I haven't had anything to drink. I just had back surgery. Haven't got over it yet. Well, anyway, let me tell you a little bit. My name is Grady Laird. And get started. I have a reason to be the way I am. You see, I worked for 37 years with a sex psychopath and the criminal legal insane. I don't even know what a schizophrenic is. Well, anyway, let's see where. Anybody here know what the fish said when he swam into the cement wall? Yeah. Let's speak right up. I need some help. Anyway, you know how to hold water. Blow the hell out of it. I got a list here if I can read it. Any of you hear about the old gentleman that was in the hospital, Catholic hospital, for some time, about 3 months, and he worked up quite a bill. So when they discharged him, the Mother Superior took him in and talked to him and said, "How do you want to pay for this, with a check?" He said, "No." He said, "I don't have any money." She said, "Well, you have a credit card." "No, I don't have a credit card." She said, "Well, you know, this is quite a bill. Do you have any relatives that could help you with this?" He said, "No." He said, "I don't know. Wait a minute, I have a spinster sister that's a nun." She said, "I beg your pardon. We're not spinsters, we're married to God." He said, "Send the bill to my brother-in-law." My daughter wants me to tell you the one about "Let 'em down easy, Harry." There was this construction crew, and one day they got a call that one of the workers, his wife had been killed, crushed by a truck. So the foreman went out and he just said, "Hey, Bill," said, "your old lady was just crushed by a truck. She's dead." He dropped over with a heart attack. So they hauled him off. So the boss told him, he said, "You can't do that. You have to let them down easy. You can't just blurt it out." So he said, "Okay, I got you." About 6 months later, this gentleman's mother was in a nursing home, and it was kind of expected, and she passed away. And he said, "Now look, go out there, let the guy down easy. Don't just blurt it out. We don't want to haul him off in an ambulance." "Okay, I got you." Went out and he said, "All right, men, gather around. Sit down." He says, "Now all you guys with your mother still living, stand up." He said, "Sit down, Harry." One day, my boss, he was a nurse too, and he said he wanted me to go out and talk to some of the relatives of a patient that we had. They didn't think that we were taking care of him well enough, and so I said, "Well, why do I have to go out there? That's not my job." And he said, "Well, Brady," he says, "you have a unique way of telling people to go to hell and then make them look forward to the trip." Oh yeah, this one, women like this one. Anyway, this guy had a heck of a fight with his wife. So he decided, it was a real fight, so he decided to get out of the house. So he went down to the lodge and he had a couple of beers, and he got to thinking about it, and he thought, you know, this isn't right. He said, "I didn't treat her really right." He said, "I'm going to go back and apologize." But before he did, he had a couple more beers. So finally he went home. As he went in the house, his wife was ironing her bra. He couldn't resist one more little dig. He said, "Why are you ironing that? You haven't got anything to go in it." She said, "I iron your shorts, don't I?" I like this one. It's about a little snake crawling through the weeds. And he passed this rock, and up on this rock was another snake that he knew. Little Billy. Laying up there, these little tongue flicking out. And he says, "Hey," he said, "Billy," he says, "you don't look so good." He said, "I don't feel so good." He said, "What's the matter?" Well, he said, "I haven't been eating." He said, "What's wrong?" He said, "Well," he said, "it's my eyes." He said, "I can't see." He said, "When I strike, I miss them." I can't get them. He said, I'm starving. He said, well, you need some glasses. He said, hey, look at me. Do you see me ears? I can't wear glasses. He said, well, they got contacts now. He said, they have? And he said, yeah, they got contacts with bifocals in them. Really? He said, well, I'll check that out. Well, about 3 months later, he was crawling past his walk again. He looked up, and little Billy was sitting up there with his cones flicking down. He said, hey, he says, you're looking good. He says, I'm feeling good. He said, I knew you would. And so he says, you know, he says, those short ones, he said, I nail them with these bifocals. And he said, with a regular lens, he said, long distance, he said, they don't get away. He said, I'm eating good. And he said, it even helped my sex life. He said, what do you mean? How could contacts help your sex life? He said, hell, I've been shacked up with a garden hose for the last 6 months. I don't know Latin. But all of you, when you get a tax bill, on it it'll say the name and ettle. I found out that means also, or whoever, or et cetera, whatever it is. It's Latin. Well, anyway, the priest gave a sermon. And when he finished, he said, Te tu homini, which means peace on earth to mankind. So the lady went to him and she said, you know, Father, she said, you said peace on earth to mankind, what about womankind? He said, well, I'll fix that. So the next sermon, he got up and he said, Te tu homini et te tu femini. Well, everything was fine. Well, then the gay guy came in. He said, look, what about us? He said, well, I'll fix that. So the next sermon, he got up, he said, Te tu homini et te tu femini et tutti frutti. Anyway, God, I can't read my writing. Oh, yeah, this one is about, you guys know, Gloria Steinem, woman feminist, who's going to take a plane ride. She went to get a ticket. Ticket agent was filling it all out, and she said, oh, you know, Miss Steinem, she says, you'll be happy to know that, she said, on this trip, your co-pilot is also a female. Oh, she said, that's wonderful. She said, it's about time that we took our place in the workforce. So she got her ticket and started to leave, and the ticket agent said, oh, Miss Steinem, I got to tell you one more thing. She said, you know, on this flight also, says, your pilot is a female. She said, oh, well, that's wonderful. She said, well, if I have time during the flight, I'll go forward in the cockpit and speak with them. She says, oh, Miss Steinem, we don't call it that anymore. Oh, yeah. This is about the kid that, you remember during Halloween when I was growing up, and before, the biggest thing was to go out and turn outhouses over. Well, this one kid, he got with a gang of boys, and this old farmer said one time, he said, you know, a boy is a boy, 2 boys is a half a boy, and 3 boys is no boy at all. Well, he got with this gang, and they decided to turn outhouses over. Well, it was his father's house they were going to turn over, which they did. Well, the next morning, his father said, Bill, did you turn that my outhouse over last night? And he said, yes, Father, I did. He said, well, come out to the woodshed. You're going to get it. He said, you know, Father, he said, I thought if I told you the truth, you wouldn't punish me. He said, you know, George Washington chopped down a cherry tree. And he told his father, and his father, because he told the truth, his father didn't punish him. He said, yes, son, but Mr. Washington was not in that tree when he chopped it. Oh, let's see. I can't keep my balance here. Oh, yeah, this is a good one. There was a barber who told me this one. And barbers, I guess, are all the jokes. But anyway, it was back in the days of the sailing ships. They were getting ready to go into battle, and the captain got his glass and he was looking out across there, and he saw the smokes of puff from the guns, and he knew it was coming, so he turned to his aide and he said, "Bring me my red shirt." So his aide went and got a red shirt, and he brought it up, and he said, "Captain," he says, "why do you put on this red shirt?" "Well," he says, "it's like this." He said, "You know," he said, "if I get wounded," he said, "and the men see my blood, they quit fighting." "Oh," he said, "I see, I see." So pretty soon he looks up again, and now the shells are falling around. He turned to his aide and he said, "Bring me my brown pants." Oh, here's one here. You know, I like to tell this one. You know, the difference between childbirth, which is more painful, childbirth or a man getting kicked severely between the legs. Now I'm going to prove to you that it's not childbirth, and I need a volunteer. Anyway, so far I've never had a volunteer, so I'll just have to tell you anyway. Anyway, you know, after a woman has had a baby, 6 months, a year, 2 years later, you'll hear her say, "I think I'll have another baby." To this day, I have never heard a guy that got kicked severely between the legs say, "I think I'll go out and get kicked severely between the legs again." I rest my case. Oh, you know what? I got a pop here. You know, Robert Fulton invented the steamboat, not the engine, the steamboat. And when he was a kid, he would sit by his mother's old wood stove, and it had a warming oven over the top, and she would bake pastry and cakes and pies and bread for the whole week. Well, Robert Fulton would sit at the end of that wood stove, and he'd get little tidbits, and he sat there and he'd watch this old cast iron tea kettle. The steam would build up and the lid would raise up and settle back down. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? Raised up and settled back down. He watched it for 4 hours. Finally, he reached over and he picked that lid up and he looked at it just like that. You know, that led to the invention of the pot holder.